So we are here at the MLB All-Star break, and every single year there are players that have high expectations that don't meet those expectations and turn into one of the more disappointing players of the MLB season. So for today's video, I'm going to talk about the 20 most disappointing players in the 2025 year. And you can let me know in the comments if you agree with these picks, if you disagree, if there's anybody that I didn't mention that you think should have made this list, and you think any one of these players can bounce back in the second half of the season. So we're going to start off with one of the more disappointing pitchers in baseball, Zach Gallen of the Arizona Diamondbacks. And he's having the worst year of his career at the worst time because Zach Gallen is a free agent at the end of the season. Over the last 5 years leading up to this year, he's only posted an ERA in the fours once, and that was in 2021. He's been an elite pitcher from 2022 to 2024. A lot of people pegged him in as a dark horse Cy Young candidate this year, and through 115 innings, Gallen has an ERA of a 5.4. He's got a 27% chase percentage, a 25% whip percentage. He's striking out 22% of his batters. He's walking 9% of his batters. But it just feels like with the fastball velocity down, the average exit velocity up, and the command hasn't even been that bad for Zach Gallen. He's walked 45 batters in 115 innings. It's just he's not striking guys out as much as he did in the previous seasons. He's not generating that much whiff, and he still has a FIP of a 4.8. Like I said, this is just a terrible time for Zach Gallen to have this type of start, especially with the Arizona Diamondbacks teetering with a playoff spot at the moment. They're a team that has just been decimated by injuries this season, and they could have definitely traded away Zach Gallen for a nice haul at the deadline. We saw what a rental of Yusei Kikuchi went last year when he got traded from the Toronto Blue Jays to the Houston Astros. The Diamondbacks are 47-50. They could have netted a nice return for Gallen, and we'll see if he ends up getting moved this year. We'll see if he's just going to be a qualifying offer guy this summer, but this season may have costed Gallen a decent amount of money if he doesn't pick it up in the second half. And we're going to talk about another pitcher like Zach Gallen that is a free agent at the end of the year and is having the worst year maybe of his career at the wrong time, and that is Dylan Cease of the San Diego Padres. Last year, threw 189 innings for the Padres. He threw a no-hitter, a 3.47 ERA. This year, Cease has a 4.88 ERA. He does have a FIP of a 3.69. He strikes out guys at a great rate. He's got a 33% whiff percentage, which is in 94th percentile of MLB pitchers. 32% chase percentage, which is in the 89th percentile. His fastball velocity is still at a 97 at the moment, but he is walking a decent amount of batters this year. His walks per nine is around 3.5. He is still striking out 11 batters per nine because Cease still generates a ton of whiff and a ton of chase in the zone, but he's just getting hit hard. Maybe he's getting a little bit unlucky this year, and I think his underlying metrics are definitely better than Zach Gallen's. And Cease is also 29 like Gallen. He's a free agent at the end of the year. I don't see the Padres trading him. It wouldn't make sense at all as they're going for it. They're 8 games above 500, and they really need Cease to be the ace for them with Michael King on the shelf. Another pitcher that was definitely going to be traded this year if he was performing any bit better, Sandy Alcantara of the Miami Marlins. It's actually wild how bad Sandy Alcantara has been this year. He is the worst ERA in baseball. It's a 7.22. That is mind-blowing. His FIP is at a 4.59. His fastball velocity is great. It's hovering around 97.2 right now, which is in the 90th percentile of MLB pitchers. We know that he missed all of the 2024 season with Tommy John. He was up and down in 2023 with a 4.14 ERA. Coming off a Cy Young season in 2022, an 8-WAR season and 228 innings. He was arguably the best pitcher in baseball, and now he's arguably the worst pitcher in baseball in 2025. He's still under control for a few more years. He could be a free agent in 2027. He's got a couple team options left on his contract. I thought it was going to be a sure thing. Miami was going to move him, but who wants to give up top 10 prospects in their system for somebody that is posting a 7.22 ERA throughout the course of the year? He's going 5 deep. He's going 6 deep. He does look healthy out there. He's just not generating any whiff, any chase right now. He's not striking out a ton of guys, only in the 16th percentile of K percentage this year. He's giving up a lot of hard hit contact. He's giving up a lot of barrels, and he's still keeping the ball on the ground. So it's going to be very fascinating to see if Peter Bendix and the Miami Marlins do still pull the trigger on a Sandy Alcantara trade, or is this something that's going to happen in the offseason because they desperately need him to have a bounce back second half. A lot of bad pitching from some Cy Young candidates in Zach Gallen, Dylan Cease, and Sandy Alcantara. Let's go to our first batter of the video, and he's been one of the best players in baseball over the last decade, Mookie Betts of the LA Dodgers. Not a lot of people are talking about Mookie Betts having a 696 OPS through the first half, through 89 games. He's been healthy for the Dodgers. He's got a 244 batting average last year, in what was even a down year for Mookie standards. He's still at a 372 OBP. This year, it's at a 315. The slugging's down to a 381. Only 11 first half home runs. He's only stolen 6 bags as well, so he's not on pace to have as many stolen bases as he had last year. Now, maybe he's getting a little bit unlucky. His expected batting average and expected slugging would be a little bit better. He's not chasing at all. He's not whiffing at all. He's not striking out at all. So he's just maybe getting a little bit unlucky with his BABIP right now. I'm going to be very interested to watch Mookie Betts in the second half of the year. How does he respond to this adversity? Because this may be the worst first half of Mookie Betts' career. And for somebody that's accumulated over 6,000 plate appearances, over 5,800 at-bats, he's got the longevity, he's got the veteran mindset to get things going in the second half. And the Dodgers are going to need him as well, because if he could still be what he's been in LA since 2020 as one of the best players in baseball, it was 2 years ago where he finished runner-up to Ronald Acuna in NL MVP voting. It is just kind of wild to see him only have a 2.4 B WAR in the first half of the year, and just seeing a 6 in Mookie Betts' OPS is also just a wild thing to look at. I'm going to honestly say that Mark Vientos has been one of the more disappointing players this season in all of Major League Baseball. Last year, Mark Vientos was one of the saviors of the Mets season, hitting clutch home run after clutch home run. And he's even spent time in AAA this year, which is kind of crazy. He's got a negative WAR through 66 games. And Vientos is striking out a ton right now. He's got a K percentage of 24%, a 31% whiff percentage, a 30% chase percentage. He's just not making the hard contact. He's not getting the lift on the ball. The bat speed looks down as well. He's got a 223 batting average, a 280 OBP, and a 361 slugging, just a 640 OPS in the first half of the year. He does play some subpar defense. Last year, he was a breakout player for the Mets in his age 24 season. A 3-win season, a 266 batting average, a 516 slugging, an 837 OPS, a 136 OPS plus, and he hit 27 home runs. And like I said, was a super clutch player for the Mets in the postseason against the Philadelphia Phillies, where he had a 1.6 OPS, 2 home runs in that series, even hit 3 home runs against the Dodgers in the NLCS, and had over an 800 OPS. It is weird to see for the 25-year-old who has a lot of competition in New York at the hot corner, with Ron and Mauricio healthy now, with Brett Beatty playing a little bit better as of late. So we'll see what Mark Vientos' status is going to be for the Mets in the future. Could he get traded this year? I don't think the Mets would want to sell low on him, but he's under contract till 2030. He'll still have a lot of time to bounce back in New York. I just hope not to see him in Syracuse again for the rest of the season. There's a lot of players that are giving into the reasoning why the Atlanta Braves are over 10 games below 500 at the All-Star break, and one of them has to be Michael Harris. Michael Harris had an unreal rookie season, getting the jump from AA to the majors for the 2022 Braves, a team that won over 100 games, where Harris had a 297 batting average and 853 OPS, was a Gold Glove caliber center fielder, and won NL Rookie of the Year. He got rewarded with that typical Braves bargain pre-arb extension, 8 years, $72 million with team options at the end of it. But Michael Harris has been going down and down since his rookie year. Like I said, an 853 OPS in 2022, an 808 OPS in 2023, where he was a little bit banged up. And then in 2024, he had a 722 OPS, but still a 264 batting average. And everything is down this year for Michael Harris. Just a .3 WAR at the All-Star break, a 210 batting average, a 234 OBP, a 551 OPS. He just has 6 home runs on the year, and he's just not hitting the ball whatsoever. He can't spray the ball at all over the field. He is chasing a ton. He is in the 97th percentile of players chasing in a bad way at 42%. And he's also in the 99th percentile in the bad way of walking as well. Just a 2.7 walk percentage. Michael Harris's OBP at a 234 is abysmal. It was a 339 OBP when he broke out in that 2022 season as a rookie. And it's just been going down and down since, for somebody that the Braves thought was going to be an all-star caliber center fielder for the next decade. I mean, maybe some people saw this coming. Definitely David Stearns could have expected this coming when he let Luis Severino walk to the no designated city Athletics, where Severino's got a 5.16 ERA this year after having a 3.91 ERA with the Mets in 2024. But if you look at his home and away splits, there's a reasoning why Severino has not been playing well in Sacramento. He's got a 6.68 ERA in that AAA ballpark in 66 innings. And on the road, he's got a 3.04 ERA in 47 innings. But Severino is making a decent amount of money going forward. He's making $20 million this year from the A's, $25 million in 2026 for a team that doesn't spend a lot of money, and a $22 million player option in 2027. He is not generating any whiff right now. He's striking out just 15% of opposing batters, which is one of the lowest in baseball. He's got 11 losses. He's 2-11 on the year in his 20 starts. He's given up the most hits in baseball, the most earned runs in the American League, and the most hit by pitches as well, which is just pretty sad to see because he was so good for the Mets last year. I do wonder if the A's are going to trade him this year, but they would definitely have to eat some of that contract. So I talked about Zach Allen being pretty disappointing this year for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Another pitcher that's been disappointing for them, Brandon Pfaadt, who also has one of the worst ERAs in baseball at a 5.16 throughout 19 starts and 99 innings. And this is just a shame for the Arizona Diamondbacks, who we thought had one of the deeper rotations in the National League this year, with Corbin Burns, who they signed, who got Tommy John, with Jordan Montgomery, who was out for the year. He was just a depth arm at that point, because you had Gallen, you had Pfaadt, you had Eduardo Rodriguez, you had Merrill Kelly, and Pfaadt has not been great whatsoever. Like I said, a 5.16 ERA. He's got a 6.20 xERA. His FIP would be at a 4.58 right now. He's just got 93 miles per hour on his fastball velocity. He doesn't walk a lot of guys. He's just getting hit hard at the plate. He's in the 3rd percentile of generating barrel percentage in a good way, so it's not been good whatsoever. And also 50% of the contact against them is hard hit contact, which is just not what you want to see whatsoever. And it's generating a ton of extra base hits against Brandon Pfaadt, who we'll see if he can respond in the second half, because he's still very young at 26 years old. He's under contract till 2030. It's just been a shame for the Arizona Diamondbacks starting rotation. And that's why they're a few games under 500 right now, when they needed Pfaadt to step up when all these injuries happened to their starting rotation. We talked about a current Met earlier in Mark Vientos. Let's talk about a former Met in Michael Conforto, because when he signed with the LA Dodgers, I was like, you know what? They did it again. This could be just another Jason Hayward for them. But no, Michael Conforto has been maybe the worst hitter in Major League Baseball. He's got a negative WAR through 83 games. He's got a 184 batting average, a 298 OBP, and a 322 slugging. He's got an OPS plus of a 76, which means he is 24% worse than the league average hitter. And his expected stats aren't great either. He's not making a ton of hard contact right now. He's whiffing a ton, he's striking out a ton, and more for the Michael Conforto standards. This is somebody that normally walks a lot, does not strike out a lot. He's got a career OBP of a 344, and I know it has not been the same since his injury, his shoulder injury back in 2021, but he wasn't the best player in the world for the Giants in 2023, bounced back in 2024, and has been a below average player for the Dodgers in 2025. A rare miss here from Andrew Friedman. But another outfielder that was so good last year that's been so disappointing this year, Brendan Doyle of the Colorado Rockies. Now, obviously, the Rockies are just maybe the biggest embarrassment in Major League Baseball. They are currently 52 games under 500. A 22-74 record is insane. Doyle has a 202 batting average, a 254 OBP, a 576 OPS, and just a 55 OPS plus, which means he's 45% worse than the league average hitter. He had 30 stolen bases last year for the Rockies, just at 9 right now. He had 23 home runs last year, just at 7 right now. And this was somebody that a lot of people thought was one of the best center fielders in baseball. He was turning 27 this year, was locked up under control till 2030, and this has been just an absolute disaster. He's got a negative 1.8 BWAR right now. He is not getting on base, not making good contact. He's whiffing a ton. He's chasing a ton. This has been a disastrous year for the Rockies, and one of their more exciting bats in Brandon Doyle in general. And I feel like every year I've been waiting for O'Neal Cruz to break out. I know he had a 500-foot home run in the home run derby, but he's not been good in the regular season so far. Now, he's been better than a Michael Conforto or a Brendan Doyle or a Michael Harris or a Mark Vientos, that's for sure. But I'm just waiting for Cruz to break out. And I just feel like we can't get out of that 700 OPS. He's got a 733 OPS, a 319 OBP, a 414 slugging. He does have 16 home runs on the year and has 29 stolen bases. And I feel like O'Neal Cruz hasn't been bad, but I just want to have him in a completely different tier to break out, be one of the best hitters in baseball, as O'Neal Cruz is 26 years old now. So guys that are disappointing can come in different shapes and forms. I think it's just more so I thought O'Neal Cruz could have been an all-star this year. So hopefully Cruz can have a more consistent second half of the season. Hopefully he could strike out a little bit less. He's at a 32% K percentage. He has one of the best barrel percentages, one of the best hard hit percentages, one of the best average exit velocities, one of the best bat speeds in baseball, and that's why we saw him in the home run derby. He's walking a ton this year as well. I would just like to see him cut down on the strikeouts. And one of the more disappointing players this year, it's got to be Anthony Volpe of the New York Yankees. I feel like Yankee fans were waiting for him to break out this season. He's just got a 214 batting average, a 287 OBP, a 384 slugging, which puts him at a 671 OPS and an 86 OPS plus. He's also committed a ton of errors this year as well, leading the American League with 11 errors so far. At one of the more important defensive positions in baseball. At least Volpe doesn't chase a lot, but man, he is not making any hard contact right now. He's never had a season outside a 600 OPS, 666 OPS in 2023, 657 in 2024, 671 in 2025. If Volpe doesn't turn it around by the end of this year, the Yankees could definitely look for a shortstop replacement at the end of the season because Volpe's defense has taken a little bit of a step back in 2025, and if he can't hit, if he can't field, no way the Yankees could trot him out as the opening day shortstop in 2026. Willy Adames got over $100 million from the San Francisco Giants this offseason, and he's got a below 700 OPS, a below 100 OPS plus, a 307 OBP, a 220 batting average, and 12 home runs on the year, and just 4 stolen bases after having 21 last year. He's been kind of disappointing so far for the San Francisco Giants. And I know the Giants have been good this year. They've had a very good bullpen. They're 7 games above 500. They traded for Rafael Devers, but this team could be a little bit better if Willy Adames wasn't such a negative at the plate. He's whiffing a ton. He's striking out 26% of the time, and he's somebody that was locked in to be the franchise shortstop till 2032. He signed a $182 million contract over the course of 7 years, and I'm sure Buster Posey would really like for him to turn it around because this could be a lot of money not well spent if this is going to be the type of Willy Adames we see over there in the Bay Area. Let's go back to the Pittsburgh Pirates and let's talk about Bryan Reynolds, who has been kind of disappointing this year to Bryan Reynolds standards. I feel like at the end of every year, he's got around an 800 OPS. Obviously, he had his best year in 2021 with a 912 OPS. He was an all-star last year, cooled off a little bit in the second half, but does get to his numbers every single year where it could be around 20 home runs, 80 RBIs, and 800 OPS, but this year it's all below average for Bryan Reynolds' standards. He's at just 10 home runs right now, 46 RBIs, a 225 batting average, a 287 OBP, and a 369 slugging, an 82 OPS plus right now. And it's because Reynolds is just striking out a ton more than usual. He's walking a lot less as well, just a 7.7% walk rate. And it was interesting too because Reynolds has a couple no traded teams on his list, and they were all big market teams that are competing for the playoffs. So I have no idea what's going to happen with Reynolds and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Are they going to look to trade him as the Pirates are last in the NL Central with a 39-58 record? He's owed around $15 million till 2031, where he's got a $20 million team option at 36 years old. I would like to see him stay in Pittsburgh as he's been with the Pittsburgh Pirates since the 2019 season, but it's hard to justify what Bryan Reynolds is doing right now for the Pittsburgh Pirates and their direction right now. If they're not going to spend in the offseason, you may as well try to get off the Bryan Reynolds contract and maybe get a prospect or two. Another big free agency bat signing that hasn't been performing like Willy Adames is Christian Walker of the Houston Astros. And I'm sure Astros fans in that front office getting a little bit of PTSD here from the Jose Abreu signing a couple years ago. So far, Walker this year has just a 229 batting average, down 22 points from last year with the Arizona Diamondbacks. The OBP is down 50 points at a 286 right now, a 374 slugging, a 660 OPS, 12 home runs, and 47 RBIs. He got a little bit hotter towards the All-Star break, but didn't finish with a hit in his final 2 games. And he can still be a good defensive first baseman, but like I said, Astros fans, man, maybe they just don't have good luck with signing veteran first basemen in the free agency market, as Walker looks like a night and day hitter from what he was doing last year. I thought he was going to be great with the Crawford boxes this year over there in left. And he's somebody that's going to be making $20 million for the next 2 seasons, very similar to the Jose Abreu contract. Adolis Garcia was one of the more exciting players in MLB in 2022 and in 2023 when the Texas Rangers won the World Series. He was a 4.5 win player. He had an 836 OPS and he hit 39 home runs. But the last 2 years have been very disappointing to Adolis Garcia and the Texas Rangers. He did hit 25 home runs last year, but just a 224 batting average and a 684 OPS this year. Pretty much the same, a 404 OPS, a 234 batting average, 13 home runs, 56 RBIs, 9 stolen bases. He chases an absolute ton. He is whiffing a ton. He is striking out a ton. He's not walking at all. And now we're in over a 200 game sample size of Adolis Garcia being a negative hitter for the Texas Rangers. He can be a free agent in 2027. But this is just kind of sad because, like I said, when he was 30 years old in 2023, he was one of the best corner outfielders with his bat in baseball. And now it's just been the complete opposite for a lot of guys regressing in Texas, which is also going to be the next player I'm going to talk about, Marcus Semien, their second baseman, somebody that also signed a massive contract at the same time. Corey Seager signed a contract before the lockout a few years ago, and he was a vital part of their 2023 World Series team. So it hurts a little bit less since they got their ring, they knew there was a lot of risk in giving Marcus Semien this contract when he signed that 7-year, $175 million contract that will make him a free agent in 2029. He had an 826 OPS, was one of the best second basemen, maybe the best second baseman in baseball in 2023. But last year had a sub 700 OPS, 23 home runs. This year he's got 12 home runs, a 695 OPS, about a league average hitter. He's walked about 40 times this year, and maybe he's been a little bit unlucky. His batting average would be a 254. Maybe he's just going to continue to walk more in the second half. He finished off a strong note in the first half of the season, and the Texas Rangers desperately need him to become one of the better second basemen in baseball again if they're going to try to turn things around in the second half for a team that is currently fighting for the 3 spot in the NL West with the LA Angels right now. And we'll stay on the topic of some second basemen, somebody that Philly fans have probably been waiting to break out with his bat, which it's unfortunate that it hasn't happened because he steals a ton of bags. He plays good defense, and that's Bryson Stott, who had a 747 OPS in 2023 when the Philadelphia Phillies made it to the NLCS. Last year, he had a 671 OPS for the Phillies, but was still a 2.5 win player. This year, through 86 games at the All-Star break, just a .2 WAR season, a 234 batting average, a 303 OBP. He's got a 76 OPS plus, 6 home runs, 14 stolen bases right now. And like I said earlier with Anthony Volpe, like if the bat doesn't come around, Dave Dombrowski can't continue to start Bryson Stott at second every single season. He doesn't chase a lot. He doesn't whiff a lot either. He doesn't strike out a lot, which is very encouraging. He just can't make hard contact whatsoever. I was going between 2 players for my last spot. Was going to maybe talk about Jonathan India, but I'm going to talk about Nolan Arenado of the St. Louis Cardinals, a team that's been a little bit more competitive than people may originally thought of. The Cardinals are 5 games above 500 right now, 51-46 at the All-Star break, and Nolan Arenado has a 693 OPS, 10 home runs, 42 RBIs, a 246 batting average, a 305 OBP. And the Cardinals were talking about trading Arenado in the offseason. There was a chance he could have gone to Houston, but he blocked that. And now he's not helping the Cardinals whatsoever with his trade value. He's under contract till 2028 because he signed that 9-year, $275 million deal that got reworked. And it's just kind of a shame because the St. Louis Cardinals really need Nolan Arenado to step up in the second half. Paul Goldschmidt is in New York. Some other younger guys have been a little bit better, or some have been a lot better than Nolan Arenado so far this year. He was somebody that finished 3rd in MVP voting in 2022, but it's just been downhill since. And for somebody that is 34 years old, that is not making hard contact whatsoever, hopefully this isn't the beginning of the end for Nolan Arenado's career. So that is going to be for me. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, I would appreciate you dropping a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with anybody that I mentioned here. Make sure you subscribe for more MLB content throughout the rest of the regular season and of course into the playoffs and offseason as well. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.